Hey, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about 11 turn-ons that you may actually not know that exist. Now, this is stuff that, before we talk about this, there's two prefaces I really want to get across. The first preface is that this stuff is nuanced as hell, meaning that you could probably take anything out of context in this video and it to be extraordinarily jeopardizing for me in my career. So that's why I'm prefacing this. It's worth understanding that this stuff is incredibly nuanced. The second thing is this comes from my own healing, understanding and recognizing and healing my relationship with arousal, my relationship with my own arousal, my relationship with other people's arousal, just my experience with coaching. So, over the last whatever amount of years, healing relationships, healing my own relationships, healing other people's relationships. The stuff I'm going to share here is, I don't think I've really heard anyone else talk about it, or like this way online. And if you have, congratulations. Some of these are going to connect with you. Some of these aren't, let's be honest. The ones that connect with you, great, you've learned something about yourself. The ones that aren't, great, you've learned something about human beings. Honestly, it's like, I wish that humans were a little bit more simpler. But you know what? Humans are fucking complicated. And you're going to learn that going through this video. You're going to learn actually sort of how complicated people are. And without further ado, again, to stress this comes from a place of healing. So healing, when we're dealing with our blocks towards healing our relationships, for example, that's what I do on a private coaching. If you're interested, link should be in the description. But if you are healing your relationships with your partner, healing your relationship with yourself, healing your relationship with sexuality, this stuff becomes incredibly evident. Not only do you understand it from, say, you watch a video, congratulations, but you experience it at such a deep level that it becomes basically commonplace in your life. This sense of empathy, this sense of understanding that you have for this awareness. You have your awareness is from this to this. So without further ado, let's get into it. And you're going to notice a trend here. Number one, your turn on. Sometimes your arousal becomes their arousal. It's like your turn on, the fact that you are turned on can be quite exciting and quite enticing for someone. It's like, wow, look at them. They are turned on. Your turn on can often give them permission to feel turned on themselves. Often your turn on helps them feel very desired, and that in turn helps them feel turned on, for example. But more often than not, some people, especially I don't know, we get some weird beliefs about dating, we get some weird beliefs about relationships, we get some weird beliefs about sexuality. Often we can perceive, some people might perceive this, and I encounter this, that it's bad to show your emotions, especially dating. It's too needy, too weird, all of this stuff. That you got to keep your cards close to your chest. Ironically, them seeing your turn on can be such a turn on because they can perceive you, and also you're fucking vulnerable. You are unafraid, powerful to be seen, and it does not matter if they accept you or reject you. That's attractive. That's fucking powerful. Now, we said 11, right? A lot of these, you'll notice, are little flips. So what's the opposite? Number two, what's the opposite of your turn on, your turn off? Some people are attracted to and excited and aroused by your turn off. By you being turned off, for example, they might get to chase you. By you being turned off, they thus are aroused because they themselves are like, oh, now you are an object of desire. It is quite common for someone who is quite blocked emotionally, especially emotionally, sexually, for them to, how do I put this into words? For them to push you away, for them to feel safe. And now that you are gone, they are safe to pursue you. So your turn off becomes a turn on for them because now you become an object of desire. Now you are used to, you are climatized. They are climatized to, for example, not being liked. They are climatized, to example, to the pursuit. They are climatized to, for example, I guess, toxic relationships. So the manipulation of a situation for them becomes safety. And in that safety, the arousal can exist. Number 3, natured and safe. Now, this is, again, now that we've run through the first 2, a lot of these are going to be very similar. We're going to do one and then the opposite because honestly, this shit is nuanced, but nurtured and safe. Some people love feeling nurtured and safe. Safe in a relationship, safe in exclusivity, safe in like friendship, for example. Nurtured where they love to be loved, they love to be held, they love to know that they are safe, for example. Now, number 4, flip it around, we've got the opposite. Unsafe. Sometimes unsafe situations can be arousing. This is where certain kinks come in. Public, BDSM, being in situations where I guess generally you'd say like, okay, I feel unsafe. This is where people will be attracted to repeat offenders. Like, oh no, it's the arsehole. They don't necessarily want me. Why do I keep going to, I find a lot of women will say emotionally unavailable men. Ironically, many years ago, I used to be an Uber driver. And when I was an Uber driver, I would drive people, mostly women, who were the next day going from a man's house. So this is early in the morning. And they're like, oh no, I promised myself I wouldn't go back there. None of these people had a fucking frown on their face. They're all beaming. It's because there's excitement in that. Excitement in the safe, also excitement and arousal in the unsafe. So now, number 5, we have acceptance. Acceptance can be empowering and arousing. To be seen and to be loved for who and what we are. So to be accepted can be incredibly arousing because a person will feel, holy shit, I can be myself here. And who I am is a sexual being. You'll find with most people, unless you are asexual, that acceptance can be incredibly fucking powerful. Now we flip it around. Number 6, rejection. Now this is sort of a bit like your turn off. Being rejected can be a turn on. Ooh, it's exciting. I'm rejected. I get to pursue. Ooh, it's exciting. I'm back to where I am. I reject myself. Therefore, when you reject me, I feel safe. Number 7, relaxed. Very similar to nurtured and safe. I feel very relaxed. Relaxed to think. Relaxed to express myself. Relaxed then to discover the deep suppressed arousal that's underneath. On the other hand, number, 8. Stressed. Stressed can be fucking arousing for people. In fact, I remember, like at a young age, I remember running late for class when I was going through puberty and feeling like, whoa, what is this feelings happening? I don't understand. So feeling stressed itself can actually be incredibly arousing. That's where we crossbreed into certain things like kinks, certain things like almost being caught, for example. All of these extra things, this is where people then get really excited by, for example, potential cheating or cheating fantasies. Because the stress of being caught, whatever it is, it's like the fantasy you will discover. The more you look and introspect into what a fantasy that you might have or that exists, you can see that sometimes it's not necessarily about the fantasy itself, it's about how the fantasy makes you feel. For example, multiple people might make you feel powerful, and that power is what you want. Now, if we look at sexuality from a healing perspective, it's like that's a part of the self that is rejected. So ironically, accepting that part of self allows you to basically manifest that behavior and that reality. So what we do is we heal the blocks, we surrender, we let ourselves fully feel, I want this, I hate this, I need this, I'm stressed, I'm aroused. You, in turn, healing your arousal gets you a fucking witch sight into the arousal of other people. Now, where were we? So number 9, loved. Some people just want to be loved. Being loved can be so hard, so out there that once someone is loved, they feel so just welcomed and safe that they can be themselves. Now, similarly, number 10, and we're going to get to 11 soon. Number 10, hated. Hated is safe. Hated is like familiar. Hated is rejected. Hated is a drama. Hated is pain. And pain can be exciting. So feeling hated for some people can be incredibly arousing. Remember, we've often spoken about how it's like, it's not just the freedom to express oneself, but the ability to grasp and to reach. You find that unhealed sexuality often comes from that, a place of, I need to work hard for intimacy. On the other hand, we have healed sexuality. I don't need to work hard. Sexuality is part of me. And once you've healed that, you're able to see that around you and start to collect that data. Similarly, you've got these unhealed lenses, this pain, this trauma that affects sexuality. What ends up happening is we end up exhibiting all these little things, and we start to be unconscious about our sexuality, trying to be conscious. All of this stuff that I've said, like I'm pointing here because that's my list. All of this stuff, once you realize, if that's you, the moment you realize it, you heal it. And the moment you heal it, you get a choice. Is this something I want to do? The answer is yes. The answer is no. You might realize in part, you might realize, hey, I love stressed sexuality, stressed sex, but I like it sometimes. Once a month, once a year, you develop an enhanced relationship with it, so it doesn't necessarily mean like it's a big deal anymore. I like to think that there's, like, similarly, it's like healing your relationship with someone you fucking hate. There's a place for everyone in your life. Sometimes the place right over there, really far away. Now, number 11 is healed. Number 11 is healed. And I've been talking a lot about healing, a lot about surrender. I find as someone heals, they are opening up their sexuality. There's an energy, like lightning strikes, it has to land somewhere. So as someone heals, they're actually unlocking sexuality within their parts. I find myself, I'm pointing towards my nether regions, because as I personally heal issues, anxieties, things around sexuality, I feel energy rushing through my body and opening myself up. This is where often people refer to this as tantric. And I know just by saying that word, I immediately throttle my YouTube algorithm, things like that. But you know what? Fuck it. There is a power in healing your sexuality, and it's an energy. It's an energy. People can feel it. They can receive it, or they don't need to feel it. They don't need to receive it. Your acceptance of your own sexuality and surrender of the blocks and everything you have towards it opens other people up to that. Now, if you're interested in private coaching, there's links in the description. If you're not interested in private coaching, consider, contributing this video and somehow liking it. If you like this video, want to see more of my stuff, subscribing. This is video. It's a format that I've been experimenting with. If you do like this style, please let me know. Honestly, I'm often confused on whether to share the actual healing process or certain results. The answer to me is both. But thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon.